Hey YouTube, how you guys doing? I hope you guys are having an awesome day. Now, I actually wanted to make this video in order to address something that I think is very problematic within the game, and it has to do with the weapon I'm using in the background. So recently, the FFAR 1, the FAMAS, whatever you want to call it, it was nerfed. It got madly nerfed, and it was one of the better ARs in the entire game. And now if you've never used it, and you go to pick it up without attachments, this thing is just trash. And don't worry, in this video, I'm going to give you guys a good class setup for it, and one that actually took me like hours and hours and hours to figure out how to make it so it's as good as it used to be. And I have to say, there's one thing that bothers me, and that's the fact that if you have a decent KD, if your KD is not bad, if you're like one of those players who's pretty good and stuff like that, and you could carry yourself in a match and stuff, you don't depend on your teammates to do all the work, you're probably going to be getting into lobbies where there's only 3 or 4 weapons actually being used. And for example, you got the M16, you got the AUG, you got the MP5, and you got the AK-47. Sometimes you got people running around with the Krig 6, but for the most part, assault rifles is the AK-47. Now, if you're not using any one of these weapons, you're not doing that good in the game. You're not going to be doing that good. These weapons literally outclass every other gun in the game, especially the AUG out of all of them. And what did they do? They went and nerfed the FFAR 1, which kind of sucks. So I wanted to try and use a weapon that not many people are actually using, and it was really tough. It actually was very, very tough to go out and do that. Like, I was using the FFAR, and without attachments, I mean, I did have 3 attachments because I have a variant version right here that you guys can see, and it gives you 3 attachments, but those 3 attachments kind of suck. So I was using it, and I was just getting melted over and over and over again. Even if I shot first, I would get melted. Even if it was at distance against an MP5, I would get melted, and it was just crazy. I ended up the game going like 23 and 41, and that is very unheard of for me. So if you guys are playing on this strict skill-based matchmaking and you're not bad at the game, you've probably noticed all of that. So I wanted to challenge myself today. I wanted to go out and use a weapon that no one else in the lobby is using and see what could happen. Now, I never actually finished a game going super positive with like a 3 KD or anything like that, but I wasn't doing too bad. So I just wanted to prove to myself that you could actually do decent using these weapons. Now, I will say I would have played so much better if I was using the AK-47, the MP5, the AUG, or the M16, which is 2 guns I've never touched. You guys can check it out. Like, I only got these weapons at level 1. I'm not using these. I'm not using them. I'm not using them until they're nerfed and it's more fair, because I know how it is, what it feels like to die against them. It's super cheap. So yeah, I went ahead and I used the FFAR. I'm gonna share a class with you guys that I think is good, and you have to know, like, it took me so long just to go ahead and get this class. So many games playing, so many frustrations just to go and get this class done. And even now, I don't think it's one of the better classes I could have made for this weapon, but it's what I had. It's the actual unlocks I had for it and stuff. And keep in mind, there was no double XP when I was unlocking this, and I have to say, it's pretty good. It's a pretty decent class. You could stand your ground, but you're not going to be doing as good as you thought. Now guys, I forgot to mention it, but if we could go for 1,018 likes on this video, we were 1-upping from yesterday's like goal. That would be amazing. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new around here, and don't forget to turn on those notifications, and let me know, what is your most used weapon in the entire game? I believe mine is the MP5 or the AK-74U, so I'm kind of guilty as well for going and using the meta weapons and whatnot, but let me know what yours are down in the comments below. Let's get into this class. So the first thing is the perks. I'm running 6 perks with the wildcard perk agreed. This is important because I feel like Flak Jacket and Tactical Mask for perk 1 are both very good perks. I can't choose between the 2, so it was very good to throw on the actual perk read. And then for number 2, for perk 2, I got Gearhead and Scavenger. Now honestly, for perk 2, I don't care too much about these. Scavenger is what I like, but all the other ones, they're kind of mediocre. I could have done without them, but I'm getting one as a bonus, so I might as well use it. And then at perk number 3, I went with the Ghost and Ninja. Again, these are 2 perks I can't choose. If I had to really choose, I would go with Ninja 99% of the time, but Ghost is nice because there's a lot of UAVs being called up in this game. Now, if you're not using a suppressor, it doesn't matter as much, but it's still nice to have on your weapon. Again, after that, it's the usual. I got my stim shot. Instead of running a Semtex, I'm actually running a regular frag, and then I got the field mic for the field upgrade, because you guys could actually stack these. You could get 2 at the same time and call them both down in different parts of the map, and you could kind of see, you got like an advanced UAV technically telling you where people are, where they're moving from and stuff like that. So it's pretty nice. My secondary is a knife. No need to run anything when I'm trying to level up weapons and stuff. I want to focus on the weapon at hand, and that is the FFAR 1, which is the FAMAS, which unfortunately, it does not live up to the FAMAS standards. it doesn't, man. If you guys played Black Ops 1, the FAMAS was a crazy weapon. It had a lot of recoil, but it was a crazy nice weapon, and this one just does not stand up to those standards. This is a gun that a lot of people are trying to stay away from, so if you're trying to get this gold, anything, check out the class I made for it. It's not bad, but I really do feel like we have to start off with an optic, and I got a few of them here. I don't got too many unlocked, but the quick dot or the mill stop reflex is going to be the one I actually recommend. Now, when I do unlock the microflex LED, that's going to be the one I'm using, but for the moment, I'm using the quick dot LED. I feel like it kind of needs a sight. The iron sight isn't that bad, but it kind of confuses you at further distances as well, so I would stick to using an actual sight for this weapon. I don't recommend sights much, but this one right here I've noticed without the sight, I'm not crazy about it. After that, oh yeah, and I will mention, the gun has a ton of kick. Like, if you're actually shooting this gun, the recoil, it's gonna kick upwards, man. You gotta watch out with that right there. Now, for the muzzle, I'm not really using anything. You could definitely go ahead and run something like the infantry compensator, which gives you 12% vertical recoil control, which is really good to have on this gun, but I recommend trying to control the recoil more so you could utilize the other attachments over this one, which is gonna be the barrel. And for the barrel, we got the 19.5-inch reinforced heavy. Now, even once I unlock all the other attachments and stuff like that, I'm not gonna be using them. This one is one that I actually like. I got comfortable with it, and even though it does even though it doesn't give you recoil control or anything like that, it really does feel like it gives you vertical recoil control. I've used this class without it and with it, and I feel like it's so much easier to control with this barrel on than without it. Now, you are also getting 100% effective damage range, so even though this gun is nerfed, it's still gonna hold its ground at those longer distances, and you get 40% bullet velocity, which is really cool as well. Now, you do lose 4% sprinting move speed, and it does feel kind of heavy, this gun. After a while, you are moving slower than other people, but if you're using this, if you're trying to get a gold and whatnot, use a class at least similar to this. Now, the body, again, this is just the lasers. I never really suggest running them. I mean, if you like hipfire accuracy, go for it, but I don't really need these. I find they're a waste of an attachment. Unless you're running 8 attachments on your gun, you don't need to run an actual body on your weapon, which is just a laser. The underbarrel, this I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this at all, but I got the foregrip on, which gives you a 15% horizontal recoil control, but what I really want to get is the bruiser right here, or the field agent grip. The field agent grip is going to give you 6% vertical recoil control and 20% horizontal recoil control, so that's definitely what I'm going to be rocking with this class, because the recoil pattern on this weapon is actually kind of pretty easy to control. It shoots up and it goes towards the right every single time. And do not try to jump and shoot at the same time with this gun. That will mess you up. I jump shot with a lot of my weapons, and this one right here has a very, very hard to control recoil pattern when you jump shot. It shoots really high up to the right. It's very hard to control, so try not to jump shot as much as you normally would unless you're in close range. Then you could definitely go for it. But yeah, for the moment until I actually unlock it, I went with the foregrip. Once I actually unlock it, I'm going with the field agent grip. Obviously, I just find it that much better. The magazine is the 34 round mags. Now, I'm not going to be changing this for the speed mags or anything, because that takes away 20% ADS, so I'm going to keep it to the 34 round mags. I feel like it's perfect. You lose a little bit of reload speed, but at the end of the day, it's not too bad. And for the last attachment, I got the speed tape for the actual handle, which just gives you 10% ADS speed. Might use this one here or this one all the way down here, the airborne elastic wrap, for 30% ADS time, 90% flinch resistance, and you could actually drop shots with this weapon while still aiming down sights. So this one might be worth it, since I'm not going to be jump shotting too much with it. Now, you are losing 15% sprint to fire speed. I hate that, but sometimes you got to sacrifice to get the other benefits. But yeah, that's it for the video, guys. Like I said, man, I feel like we got to start using weapons that aren't the meta, man. Every single person in the lobby is using a gun that's just way too overpowered, and it makes all the other guns in the game completely useless. Like, you just can't use them because there's gonna be a guy with an AUG, there's gonna be a guy with the AK, a dude with the MP5 rushing people and hit firing and hitting them across the map somehow. It's gonna happen, and that's never gonna stop as long as there's meta weapons. But on the 16th, they're actually changing the meta. They actually mentioned it on Twitter. They're gonna be actually changing it and stuff. So I really want to see the FFAR get a buff. I mean, I know it was nerfed nerfed, but I want to see it back to at least to what it was before, something similar to that at least, and nerf some of the weapons that are just too overpowered. Like the AK-47, just nerf the damage or the distance a little bit. The AUG, just break it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see that gun for the rest of the year, but that might just be me. I mean, if you guys are enjoying it, you're enjoying it. But yeah, nonetheless, guys, thank you for watching this video. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new around here with those notifications turned on so you don't miss any future uploads. Like the video if you guys actually did enjoy it, and let me know down in the comments below what your most used weapon in the entire game is. Thank you guys for watching. My name is Nick, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.